Hour. Yes, Danny Manning was heroic when he led the underdog Kansas Jayhawks to their upset win in the 1988 NCAA Men's College Basketball Championship. They beat OU. It's one of the most painful moments in OU sports history, as many of our listeners can attest to. He had 31 and 18 and 5 blocks, and he was the tournament's most outstanding player, two-time All-American, Naismith and Wooden Award winner, first overall pick in '88. Unbelievable. And he's partnered up with Mueller Sports to encourage people dealing with knee pain to stop by Walmart or Walgreens and get a Mueller Sports best-in-class knee brace. And a good afternoon to you, Danny. Thanks for joining us here on The Fan. How the heck are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. And there are probably some OU football fans that could think of a few other games that stand to reason as far as a little bit more hardship for them in the course of Boomer Sooner history.
Hey, easy now. I was going to ask you a follow-up on these knee braces. I've had 9 surgeries on this right one. I'm trying to see what I'm getting myself into over here.
Hey, you're catching up to me. You're not there yet, Jeff, but you're getting there.
Oh, wait, what are you at?
I've had 3 ACLs, and I've had countless scopes. Countless scopes. And so I'm well up into that 15-plus range. So you're right. I'm partnered with Mueller Sports to share with all your listeners that support you guys. Go out and get your Mueller knee sports brace. Take away your pain. I know knee pain, and you don't want to play with that. So all the weekend warriors out there, get your Mueller knee brace and go out and have at it.
How were your knees feeling on that on the night you won the championship?
They felt really good. They felt really good that night. They sure did. And Kemper Arena in Kansas City, that was a fun night for us.
You know, the points are great. All the accolades are great. A career-high 18 rebounds is kind of what really jumped out to me. Like, on the night when you needed it most, was that a sign to you that it was fate, or was it your determination to do whatever it takes? What do you attribute that to?
Well, I attribute that to all my teammates making sure they boxed out their man so I had a free run to the basket. So that's what I attribute that to. I mean, for us, we had a chance to play 30 minutes away from our campus for a national championship. And we were walking out on the court, and no one thought we had an opportunity to win the ball game except the guys in our huddle and the people in Jayhawk Nation. And so for us to be able to pull that off, we feel very fortunate and very blessed. But I reflect back to 1986, and we lost in the first game of the Final Four to Duke. And I played a terrible ball game, and it was a bad experience for me. But Archie Marshall and Chris Piper, 2 of the other seniors on our 88 team, we were there together. Archie Marshall was there. And so we knew going into 1988, the mindset that we needed to have and to help our teammates have to have success at Kemper Arena.
Yeah, the experience is a big factor this time of year, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a huge factor. And, I don't know how it's all going to play out this year with the tournament being all at one site. You know, you're not worried about travel and things of that nature. Obviously, you want to be healthy as possible in regards to twisted ankles and injuries and things like that. But you also got to be lucky with the COVID situation floating around also. So, kudos to all those student athletes in all sports that have been disciplined to do the things they needed to do to give themselves a chance to play, and wish them continued luck as they move forward, because the COVID could pop up at any time.
I have a very insensitive question for you, Danny. It's kind of my thing. Is COVID the best chance my Abilene Christian University Wildcats have to take down the Texas Longhorns? We're just proud to be in the dance.
Yes, Jeff, it is. Just to be honest with you. Texas, Shaka Smart's team this year did a tremendous job. I think they're led by their backcourt. Coleman had a terrific Big 12 tourney run. Ramey and Jones, his story is beautiful, battling back from cancer to get back out on the court. Jericho Sims is playing at a high level. Brown is a freaky athlete. So they're playing really well. And they're actually my pick to come out of that region to go to the Final Four.
And Danny, you've as a player, a great player, you coached at Wake Forest and stuff like that. How do you, as a player, it's one mindset to get ready for the tournament. As a coach, a whole nother. What are the players and the coaches going through right now? As you said, so much unknown, having to to go to Indianapolis or Indiana and get this thing, getting it going.
Well, I'll start on the player side first. I think as a player, you look at the brackets, or in general, you're just naive. You're just to the point of, hey, we're going to go hoop, we're going to go ball, everything's going to work out for us, and we're going to win a national championship. Go team. As a coach, you're like, okay, we got to make sure our scouting report is on point. We got to make sure we got the right matchups. We got to make sure that in-game matchups are good. We got to make sure that we know what's going on outside of our game. So many different things go into play. And I kind of break it down like this. As a coach, you're like, in the game, like, we got to get stops. We got to rebound. We got to be tough. We got to do it. And the players are looking at you. They're dancing, talking about get buckets, get buckets, get buckets. That's what the players want to do. But as coaches, so many other things go into it.
So we've talked about this before with a lot of guys who are all-time greats, no matter how far you want to take it back. You go all the way to Ted Williams in baseball. And a lot of all-time greats who try their hands at coaching, it doesn't work out. And our theory is just that they were so good, they're like, do it like I did it. Did you have any challenges making that transition, just with how good you were at the sport, translating that to teaching?
Jeff, for me, no, my path was a lot different. I got introduced to the game by my father, who played professional basketball in the NBA, ABA, and overseas. But he was a journeyman. He was a guy who had to dive on the floor, set picks, box out, get the ball to the stars of the team. And so I grew an appreciation for that at a very early age. And then I went through 3 ACL injuries throughout the course of my career. So I was not out on the court depending on pure athleticism. For me, going through the ACLs, the only way that I could create anticipation when I came back from those injuries was to have a really good scouting report and book on my opponent and know if he's going to go right. Know, like looking at his feet when he shot fakes, if they're not under him and they're not square to the basket, I shouldn't go for the pump fake and things of that nature. So I really became more of a student of the game because of my injuries and because of the history and Coach Brown and all the other coaches that I played for. So for me, it was an easier transition in coaching because I could break the game down in ways that I needed to see the game to have success on the court. And I'm able to share that with the young people that I come in contact with coaching them.
Great story. It's Danny Manning here with you on 105.3 The Fan. Of course, the one season with the Mavs. What's your favorite memories of Dallas, either as a player with the Mavericks or a visitor there at Reunion Arena?
My favorite memories are the relationships and friendships that you have a chance to build with your teammates. And so for me, I get a chance to be around Steve Nash again because, we were together in Phoenix. I get a chance to meet and become friends with Dirk. Mike Finley and I become friends. We're teammates again because he was with us in Phoenix. And so all the guys that I had a chance to be in the locker room with, tail end of the career, playing with Tim Hardaway, that was something that I really enjoyed. And I look back on it and reflect very fondly. So for me, being in Dallas was a unique experience. And that was when Mark was really trying to put together the culture of his team. And to be a part of that was a lot of fun. And he did some really unique things with how he took care of his players to make them feel special. And I think that's evolved throughout the rest of the league, that mindset. And so I just feel fortunate to have the chance to be there. And then I'm also driving distance from my family in Kansas. You couldn't beat that.
Danny, I'm going to get you in trouble right now because I'm going to ask you, how do you fix college basketball? Because we love the excitement of the tournament and all that. We don't know the players. And it's not we're lazy. It's hard to fall in love with play. You don't know the rosters year to year. I mean, you played all those years at Kansas and we could fall in love with you. We can get your jersey. We can do all those things. But man, help us fix basketball. College basketball. Is there a way to do that?
No, there's not. Sorry to tell you that.
Okay. I tried. I knew I'd go to the best guy for the answer, and I'm sorry I tried.
It's going to get worse from the standpoint of being able to transfer and be immediately eligible. When all that stuff kicks in, you are, as a coach, you're going to be preparing your teams for an NBA-type season in the terms of this is who I have this year. I'm going to build my team off of this year. And whatever team is your favorite team, they're still going to be your favorite team. I mean, college athletics is a lot different than professional athletics. In professional athletics, you can like the Cavaliers, you can like the Miami Heat, you can like the Los Angeles Lakers because you're a LeBron fan.
Right.
Well, in college, your team is your team. And that's just kind of the way that college athletics is going right now, in particular the game of basketball. So, and everyone's in a race for the most part to get out of college. They're in a race to get to that next level, whatever level they feel that they should be playing at. And a lot of them have no idea how hard it is to be a professional because they're listening to people that got no idea in most cases.
Danny, we really appreciate you giving us so much time already. We would be remiss if we get out of here without asking you about Baylor and how you like their chances.
Baylor had a tremendous year, and I do think they are going to make it to the Final Four, or at least they are in my bracket, but I have them losing to the Fighting Illini when they get to the Final Four.
Disrespectful.
Love hearing from you, your memories and your thoughts on this tournament, sir, and we look forward if we could ever catch up with you again to talk basketball. Have a great tournament.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
There he goes, the great Danny Manning here on 105.3 The Fan.